Hey guys, we are at Istanbul Aquarium. We're primarily here for the European Aquarium Creators Conference, but it's all based around the awesome Istanbul Aquarium, which we're going to go check out. I'm really excited to go see this. We're here with Alex and Claude, so see you in a bit.
And now we're standing in front of the first tanks.
Check this out.
Absolutely.
So these are a critically endangered species of killifish, and Istanbul Aquarium's working with Abyzz in London in the UK. But this one is specifically from Turkey, and there's only about 5,000 left of them in the wild, mainly because of climate change and there's not enough water and too much water use from the local springs. Istanbul Aquarium is looking to breed them. Not specifically in this tank because they're quite carnivorous and they do eat their young, but they do have a project to breed them up and put them back in the wild, which is pretty cool. We have this awesome seascape in the background there, and then the tank is joined underneath a walkway, which you can see through underneath. So actually the tank is as wide as the room. It's two different sizes, which helps for the visitors.
I didn't even realize.
Yeah. It's a huge tank. Lots of different sea bream and bass in here.
Probably everything you can find in those waters here. Explain where Istanbul is lying.
So it's kind of an interesting one. It's the edge of the European continent and also the edge of the Asian continent. So this aquarium, it's just on the European side and we're onto the Mediterranean Sea, but not very far. Where we landed actually in the airport, 2-hour drive, is the Black Sea. And then you're into the Asian side. It's kind of geographically an interesting place, and obviously there's earthquakes. There was one here 2 days ago. It was a level 5, but I've not felt one yet. And obviously the aquarium's still standing, so that's good.
Yeah, I've experienced an earthquake on one of my first visits actually. So I was sitting at the airport lounge and then suddenly everything started shaking. And that was like one of the most frightening experiences I've had. The planes outside were going like this, so it was really, really strong for like a couple of minutes. And then it was dead silent at the airport. And then, you know, sirens went off and everything, but luckily nothing happened. So no glass broke.
Nice.
Impressive.
It's one of those things that I kind of want to experience in life, but also they're pretty terrible at the same time. So
the thing is that, you know, if someone's shaking you, it's a completely different feeling because you still have something to be grounded, to be connected in your system. But if the whole system shakes, it's such a weird feeling. So those of you who have experienced an earthquake, let us know how you felt. I felt pretty bad. So I don't necessarily have to have that again.
I'm guessing they had to build the aquarium with that in mind. So we're going to have to try and find out whether they have anything in the building to deal with the weight of the water and all the tanks and the acrylic and how it's set in the walls.
Well, I mean, probably the water would splash out. And I think
I'm sure
they will have some good floor drains, I assume. Maybe the structural integrity is just strengthened with more concrete and more rebars.
Yeah.
So I have to correct the mistake that we just did. It's the Marmaran Sea that is connected to the Black Sea via the Bosporus.
You have to go through both of those straits to get through to the Black Sea. So apologies, geography fans, but we got that one wrong.
So what do you say so far?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm learning a lot of history about the area, which I didn't really know. So that's a part of the joy of coming to the aquarium. It's not necessarily just about the animals, but the environment on land where everyone has been in the sea before them. Yeah, it's cool.
What I just noticed is, like, which fish is it?
I guess the Mediterranean is kind of lacking diversity in the different types of species. The water is kind of not got many nutrients in it, so it's quite hard for different species to get established and different food sources to grow for them. And it's kind of interesting actually, if you didn't know, the Atlantic fills the Mediterranean and the water isn't as dense essentially, the water coming in terms of salinity and temperature. Then that gets heated up in the Mediterranean. As you all know, it's hot around here and dry, so the water's always evaporating. So the Med is saltier and warmer than most seas, or some seas at least. And then all of the dense water flows back through the Strait of Gibraltar in kind of top water, bottom water going out because it's denser, and goes back into the Atlantic. But kind of as a result, there's not much diversity of species because there isn't all of that nutrients, which also helps make the Med really nice and blue and great for swimming in on holiday.
Yeah, what I meant was like, there's no information which species is actually in the tank.
That's maybe because you only need to look at one sign because there's not many different fish in the med. I mean, to be fair, we've got some triggers. I might be wrong, but there's not many different types of triggers in the med. We've got those guys down the bottom over there.
I think a missed opportunity to show the species. And
it's true.
I see very little signage on the animals.
Come over here we go. All of the different species are here. So they have got lots of signage. Well, I say lots. There's a screen here and there's a screen at the end. But point still stands, the med's kind of boring for fish. Different species anyway, in my opinion. We found the rest of the tank, both sides, all the way back here, of the tank we saw at the beginning at the top with the separated sides. So it is a big tank.
Most people that we see seem to be more interested in Instagram, posting a picture.
Actually, whilst you mention that, can you just take a...
When I look at the surface, I see like a creamy film and more or less stagnant water, right?
It's only the fish pushing it around.
Yeah, right.
There are some outlets in the rockwork, if you see. But I don't think they're pushing much. Looks like we could help them out.
He's almost as grumpy as Claude. Well, Claude was actually smiling. We've been walking around 3 of the 4 sides of the tank, and it seems like the tank is getting continuously bigger.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I didn't expect it to be this big. And the sand tigers like to hang out over this side, so that's pretty cool to see.
Absolutely. When we saw the tank for the first time in that tunnel, I'm like, yeah, okay, you know, but you couldn't really gauge the size of that. And then the next window opened up the scenery a little bit more. And now with this window, you'll just see this massive tank, and it's also very nicely scaped.
Yeah, the scaping is really cool. But also another thing I noticed that's quite interesting is for the tech guys out there, is the panel is 3 panels horizontally.
Yeah, the 2 seams are not in normal eye height. So
no, I think it's only because we stood up here, we can see it looking down slightly. You get that just slight interruption.
But it's beautifully done. I mean, the rock work is amazing, and the amount of fish in there is impressive. What do you think the stick is for?
That's going to be the attitude adjustment stick.
Attitude adjustment stick. That's a nice one.
We were just discussing the length of these 2 sand tigers. We think they're probably around 2.5 meters. For those who don't know, the standard length is from the nose to the start of the tail. The fork length is from the nose to the kind of the pinch in the back of the tail. And the total length is from the nose to the very end of the tail.
Ah, okay. Thanks for the explanation. I think that within the last half hour, this aquarium has significantly changed its perception towards me.
I mean, the theming throughout the building is incredible. It's outstanding. And I think that's really interesting. It's obviously visitor-centric.
Also a lot of history or historic information on the location and everything, and that's very nice to see.
And a huge tank as well.
It's huge, absolutely.
Are you going to put a number on it? How many litres?
I have no idea.
I'm going to go with 3. 3 million.
3 million?
3 million.
Probably. The feeding process that we saw was amazing.
Yeah.
Super gentle, no stress at all. Like the divers weren't being harassed, except for that one nurse shark that obviously loved that can of fish in there. But yeah, fantastic.
No use of the attitude adjustment sticks.
No,
required.
Absolutely none. Interesting.
We proudly present the new Abyzz.
The new
AFC
Abyzz
12,000.
12,000. I have no idea what that is for. You will notice that there's little to none water movement in this tank. And I think it's so sad. You know, they could easily gain so much more experience and probably also more animal health if they would introduce a bit more flow into those systems. Plus, it would make the filtration so much more efficient. But again, scaping-wise, it absolutely matches the biotope, feeding action.
I do like the penguin exhibit.
Just like Seth Meyers would be saying, time for a closer look.
The best one we've seen by far was at the Kattegat Centre.
Yeah.
Well, the primary reason is you always get splashes on the glass. It's hard to see above. Not too much of an issue for this particular window there.
Yeah, that's beautifully done. You have this large area underneath that you can actually see, so that's really, really cool.
Yeah, I think we got lucky there.
Yeah. How many giant squids has this jaw
I would love
munched
to know.
on?
I don't think I'd ever get to touch a real sperm whale skeleton. That is truly awesome.
So this is like the original, right? So
this is a real one, yeah. And one thing that I absolutely love, all of the whales, if you come down here, is the vestigial hind limbs, which are kind of the old pelvic bones if there was one. Obviously, we don't have legs, but pretty cool.
And they're just detached from the cartilage, from everything.
Yeah, they're not attached at all. They're just in there.
So Craig, what happened with the whale?
Really sad story, actually. So obviously we're kind of wondering where you get a whale skeleton from. And it was a Turkish rescue mission in the Mediterranean quite a few years ago to rescue this whale that they'd been hearing on a hydrophone for a few days that was in distress. And they managed to track it down. And she had a massive fishing net stuck in her mouth and also wrapped around the tail, so she couldn't dive and couldn't feed. They managed to remove all the nets, but she was just too exhausted to carry on and died, essentially. I think during dissection, they also found all of this plastic that was in her stomach, which you can see over here. Looks like a milk jug of some kind.
Plastic
in a
container,
bottle. Yeah, just plastic that's
Classic
never
water
gonna go in.
bottles, right?
Yeah,
everywhere.
500 tons of plastic gets dumped in the Mediterranean every day, which is insane. With what we know today about how bad plastic is and how it takes 1,000 years to break down, it's sad that we as humans are that disgusting and we still do that kind of thing. This is a point in case of what can happen. Really sad.
And again, just in case you're wondering why we need zoos and aquariums, it's to tell those stories because nobody else would educate anyone on that.
100%. And that's why you should support your aquariums and your zoos, to learn and educate and listen and read all of the cool things. I know we were joking earlier about the med and that you can't find any information about the fish because there's only 6 different species, but that is a joke, by the way. You're absolutely right. You know, their mission to educate people is critical to what they should do. It's not just about coming and seeing the nice, colourful fish.
Learn about the oceans and about nature and then stop wasting plastic.
Yeah.
Are we still in the same building?
Yeah, well,
I get that feeling that we've been going through a wormhole somewhere because the building didn't look as big from the outside,
That's true, that's true. But you can't have a rainforest without the rain. So it is absolutely pouring down with rain in here. We're stood under a tree currently, but it's fully raining. So, we've been around the aquarium, we've done all the exhibits. We're going to be back after the conference, so we'll catch you in a bit.
All right, this is it. There's the guys from New Wave, always at EUAC for a long time. Ben and Frank are here from Dynasty Marine Associates in the US. So I've already visited them in Florida, I think twice by now. But right now, all talking to customers. Here's my friend Andy.
Oh yeah, with the cool scrubbers for tanks. They're really, really cool. So if you're a public aquarium and you want to clean your glass really efficiently, check out Fairway.
It's a cool thing. We've met them like this year at Raw, right? And then they immediately signed up for the EUAC. Everybody knows Flying Sharks. So they're the ones transporting all the stuff.
Our friends from Australia.
Everybody knows Cairns Marine as well. Abyzz now, so they're building robots and robotic cleaning systems, RDW processing, life support, building company, and then our friends from Abo, building the big green pumps, quality from the Netherlands, and here's efficiency from the Netherlands.
Putting the face on efficiency.
Yeah, Sanders here. Of course, biosystems, and then we have Dennis here from Reflowers. We got AAT, a big building company. You can buy pretty much everything. Corals. Oh, there you go, De Jong Marine Life. Everybody knows De Jong, supplier of all the fish and all that stuff.
Yeah.
MAT, one of the larger construction companies.
Yeah, doing loads of LSS, those guys.
Well, and then we have Dryden Aqua.
Give us a wave.
Hello, hello. Mainly promoting the filtration media, but they do have some knowledge about all that stuff. Then we have some nice aquarium sand here. So when you drink wine or beer in Scotland or probably Switzerland as well by now, then those bottles will later turn into this product.
It's a lot of good stuff.
Then we have our friends from ADEC here, also partners from us in Turkey, building large turnkey-ready aquariums. Jan and Fred from Deltec here, presenting their stuff. Sprengstoffe Springer? No. There you go. So these are the makers of the famous tiny drum. You might have seen that in different videos on the trade shows.
Yeah, everybody should have a tiny drum.
Buddies from Panterai here, Kai and Tom.
Hey guys.
They're showing off all the products. Great chance to check them out. We also have Emotion. Here you can check out a 3D system. You'll see Sander and Nicole here enjoying the scenery.
I've not actually got in there yet, so I'm going to have to try and get in before the end of the show.
Enjoy. So if you're interested in this, then you may talk to these guys. They'll be able to help you. Clear Reef, also one of the new supporting members here in the EUAC. So many of those exhibitors here are actually supporting, as we have been doing for a couple of years. And of course, you'll see our stuff as well, right?
So we had fun getting our products into Turkey, but they arrived just in time, well,
Just
almost
in time,
3
yeah.
hours late for the start of the conference, which is pretty good given lots of people have had their stuff stuck in customs, but such is the joy of shipping things around the world. But we think they're going to need a couple of these at some point. So we already know the energy savings, and it's going to look something crazy like 120 kilowatt hours every hour we can save. So
many people are always standing around and chatting and continuing the conversations. That's a big part of EUAC too.
Yeah.
And from here, I guess we have to go back to the talks. And,
yeah, absolutely.
We'll get back to you later.
There's the last couple, and then we have the gala dinner tonight, so that'll be fun.
Oh, yeah, right.
Here we are
Here we are.
at the airport, and man, what a conference.
A little bit exhausted.
I was mind blown at the quality of all of the presentations. Lauren and Ugo and Dilek did an awesome job.
Absolutely. What I haven't been able to do so far is go behind the aquarium or behind the scenes with you. I will do that a little bit later this year maybe, or beginning of next year. I hope you like that. As always, leave us a comment and a like. And well, I guess I'll see you next Saturday then.
Yeah, we'll see you then.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.